Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to talk to you guys about the first time I found out that I was suffering with depression and anxiety, and what the signs were when I started realizing that things weren't normal. Because technically there was nothing wrong with my life at that point in time. I had a really, really good job. I was on good money. I just got engaged to my partner. I had just moved out as well, so I had my own independence. So everything was, pretty good. I was also close to my partner's family. Everything was pretty good. But there was still something missing. I wasn't feeling great within myself. When I went into work, so I did have a bit of a high pressure job at that time. So I used to work in a buyer's agency, and obviously when you do that, you work with investors who have all these $1 million portfolios, or if not millions, it is thousands. I was that middle person for our clients. I had to tell them when to pay deposits and building and pest, and there was finance, and there was just little things, and getting their settlements all organized and everything like that. And I always just felt like if anything goes wrong, it's on my head, because I take responsibility for absolutely everything. I'm not one that just goes, I feel a lot of things, and it's the last thing that I want if I did something wrong. But on the flip side of that, I loved my job. It was everything to me. I put 110% into every day. But then I started slipping. The outside life was starting to happen, and when you're new into a job, you kind of make that your 100% priority, and then life kind of gets in the way. So I got engaged. There was things there that I had to sort of deal with, not only just doing all the engagement stuff. I had to work out everything, down from what family is going to come and what family is not going to come, leaving seats out for family to come and then they don't show up. So that there's a lot of stress and uncomfortable situations there. So I had a lot of that happening, and when people don't turn up, it kind of plays on your mind, especially if they're so close to you, and you expect them to be there without a question. So that was one thing that I had to deal with, and then from there was just a couple of other little things. I had a passing in the family, so all this stuff was just starting to come up. There was other little things finances and just obviously life. But obviously me tying my life and work together really, really made me, I don't know, I think there was just a lot going on, and I couldn't see the signs of anxiety, because I used to always, I think I used to work on so much anxiety energy. So when I have talked about this before, when you have so much anxiety, there is an energy inside you that you just pretty much, you work with that. It makes you think quick, everything. And that's not a bad thing. Every person is born with anxiety. It's a fight or flight response in our bodies. So unfortunately, in some of us, there's a lot more of the anxiety inside us, and situations can tend to make us feel that way. But I actually started off on my on this journey with depression. So I think from the engagement party stuff, it really affected me in a way. I was expecting, but wasn't expecting it. I didn't know how to deal with things. And there was also some other things that were involved in that time as well. And I ended up just going on a really downfall. So the signs that I started looking at was when I was working, I had to keep going back to my manager at that time and be like, hey, there's something wrong with me. I'm not focusing. I feel really dizzy, or like I was telling her all these things, and she would just say, look, just, you know, go outside, go grab a drink or whatever it might be. She used to just say, just give yourself some time. She used to ask if she can take some work off me. And because I'm very responsible for my things, I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. Let me just have my 5 minutes and I'll get back into it. You get back into it for about an hour, and then like there's just, you know, I just remember having this solid month where everything was just too much for me. Everything was just too much for me. Just getting up and going to work was just too much for me. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know where the source was. I don't know what happened or what was happening. So I ended up like, I put it down to maybe there was too many people in in the office that I was in. Maybe it was that, you know, maybe I can't concentrate because of that. I don't know. Because I was so used to just having my space. So I put it down to that, and then we ended up moving offices, which was okay, but I still felt like something wasn't right. Like I was getting dizzy. I remember having like a bit of a panic attack at the office as well, and you know, everybody went out for lunch. I couldn't go out for lunch. Like we had an office meeting lunch. I couldn't go because I was in such a state. I needed to lay down and just, I needed to debrief. Like I never went home because of it. Because it just comes over you, and then you just kind of go, okay, and you feel very funny for a little while. So yeah, these things were just happening. I used to get pains in the back of my neck as well. So I ended up getting like a heat pack, and then the heat pack made me really dizzy. I nearly blacked out one day. So with all of these signs that were coming up, you know, the dizziness and not feeling great, me just knowing I wasn't getting my work done, everything like that, I said, I need to go see a doctor. He just said, like, you do have depression. And just hearing that was so confronting, and I just felt like, what do I do? Like, how do I fix this? So he put me on medication. It was a trial for a month. I just remember bawling my eyes out, and I just told everybody what was going on. And yeah, they just said, like, yeah, we've noticed the difference. Some days you're happy, some days you're not. You know, some days this is what's happening, and you know, some days, you know, they don't know what to do or say. So yeah, like it was very, very confronting finding out that I had depression. Depression didn't even come across. Like I did not even think anything of it. I just thought that there was just something internally wrong. Like I thought I was sick, or there was just something wrong with me. Maybe my eyes, I thought it was my eyes, you know, making me dizzy, like the vertigo kind of feel, all the other stuff. But depression was okay. And then when I think my manager had a bit of an inkling at one stage, and she just kind of went through all my work, and she went, wow, Jess is really behind the ball in this. So we ended up having a discussion, and she said that she needed to take me away from that job role. And you know, I had done so much for that job role. I felt like I put everything into it. Even when I was battling with my depression, I tried to seriously do the best that I can, but I think it would have been a lot more better if I had actually gone to someone and said, hey, like, I'm not feeling great, I need help, I need assistance, whatever. Because when I got taken away from that job role, I just felt like I had let myself down, I let my company down, I let my bosses and my manager down. You know, I've let down all my clients. I just felt so bad within myself. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. I just cried. I bawled. Like I was ugly crying, guys, in front of my manager. You know, it was just, that was just how fond I was of my job role and how much it meant to me. And the fact that that got taken away from me, that just put me back on the back burner, like 110%. And I think from there, I was very, very worried about everything. I just yeah, I felt like I had lost a big part of myself at that time. A couple of weeks later, I finished it all up and I ended up getting really, really sick. Just remember getting really, really sick. I had to have a week off from work. I ended up in hospital because I had only eaten 2 bits of toast in a week. I wasn't drinking. I had diarrhea. I'm not a big vomiter. I do not like vomiting. But I ended up vomiting once, and the whole week it was full of nausea. For about 8 hours out of the day, I would have nausea. Then it would calm down, relax for another like 8 to 12 hours, and then it would come back. I think that was the depression. I believe that was depression because it wasn't a bug. My husband was living with me. He didn't catch anything. Nobody else caught anything that was near me. So that was my first time experiencing depression and finding out that I had depression. And yeah, so I tried the depression tablet for about a month, and then I just went, no, I don't want to be on medication. I started listening to Headspace, so just like working on my breathing techniques. I started like just doing things with my friends. I started taking my lunch breaks. I started leaving work at 5:30 on the dot. I just started looking after me and stopped putting everybody else in front. Overall, I loved the job. I still love the company. I still work with them till today. As much as I felt like it got taken away from me, it was actually a blessing in disguise. I don't think I would have moved to Queensland if I was still in that position, and you know, who knows. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. Next time we'll talk about how the first time when I found out that I had anxiety, and the signs to that as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I will be doing a little bit more of these videos. I've also got an Instagram account, so if you would like to follow me on that as well. I do advise when I'm going to be putting up new videos on that one, so I'll put that up here for you. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. See ya!